This episode is a summary of the chapter in my book, Unlock Your Possibilities, that's titled Building Your Self-Esteem. Now, let's look at the lack of the ability to set achievable goals. Low self-esteem in a person can also come from the lack of an ability to set meaningful goals. The thing to understand is that for you to make significant achievements in life, you must set goals, meaningful ones. This comes from being thoughtful about your true desires, coupled with the strong belief in your mind's ability to deliver the desired outcomes. Some people wander from place to place with no clear direction about what they want out of life. They never stop for a moment to introspect, to think about their true life's desires. Now let's talk about comparing yourself with others. Comparison brings you a feeling of failure. So let me give that to you. You can't worry about the other guy, what the other guy has. So low self-esteem can come from comparison we make, those comparisons we make of ourselves to others. Comparison almost always leads to doom and gloom. There's always that one thing, that thing that is better that the other guy has that we don't have, we want badly. There is sometimes a feeling that others are better than us. The other guy lives in a bigger house, drives a fancier car, and has more money than I. Again, that feeling of lessness has a tendency to be a downer in the realm of self-esteem. One seems not to be able to catch up no matter how hard they try. Again, it's like keeping up with the Joneses. And just after you think you've caught up with the Joneses, they refinance. So try not to keep up with the Joneses. Now, let's actually take a good look now as to what all of this, what low self-esteem, how it affects us. Because it really does affect us, our lives, and the people around us. So it's a condition that's truly energy draining. It tends to zap away the energy you need to think, plan, and execute on those things that mean so much to you. Low self-esteem individuals tend to self-deprecate. They sometimes denigrate themselves and feel a sense of worthlessness and powerlessness, a feeling which represents someone who may have just about given up in life. Let's take a look at another effect, how low self-esteem affects us as well in the area of mental health. The effect of low self-esteem can be devastating to one with the condition. Often, someone who suffers from low self-esteem would also have some other mental health issues, such as a mood disorder, which makes one feel sad, depressed, and anxious. Conditions of sadness and anxiety tend to crowd out any room for progress toward high self-esteem. A low self-esteem or low self-esteem can also cause social anxiety disorder, the fear of meeting unfamiliar people in social settings. When people have low self-esteem, they experience sad, they tend to shy away from the public. Even a public that's inaccurate, but a public that's really amiable, that's acceptable, that's ready to accept you. And such behavior inhibits progress of any kind. You can't shy away from the public. We're social beings. That's the way we succeed, by being with other people. So let's look at another effect: inappropriate outbursts. Low self-esteem can cause anger and inappropriate outbursts from someone who otherwise would be amiable, would be a nice guy, a nice person. I'm sure you've seen people overreact for no reason to issues that many of us would ignore, think, oh, they're inconsequential. Consequently, you're left asking a question such as, what happened? Why did he react this way? What did he do to her? The answer: a feeling of inadequacy and a sense of helplessness. How about over-controlling? Another example of the effects of low self-esteem is how over-controlling people with low self-esteem can be. In their presence, in their personal relationships, individuals with low self-esteem will sometimes demand to know every move their friend or partner makes, what dress they should put on, who they should talk to, and in essence, control the partner's daily routine. The issue is, no one wants to live this way. No one wants to be scrutinized for every move or action they take in their daily lives. And according to Brandon, in his practice of self-assertiveness, one of his principles, basically people who are involved in relationships like the one above, the one I just talked about, should know that they have the right to assert independence and to leave. Now, let's take a look at what is required for you to develop or to build a high self-esteem. Now that's important. This is important. There is one principle, one ingredient, one thing that you need to really take care of, and that will boost your self-esteem. And the thing of it is, the process of building your self-esteem truly centered on one main concept or principle, and that's the concept of self-confidence. It is your ability to think and to believe that you can deal with the basic challenges of life. It is also the understanding that you have the right to be successful and to be happy, and that you are indeed worthy and deserving of wonderful things in life that life has to offer. It's that the late, again, I want to go back to the words of the late Arthur Ashe. He's an African-American Wimbledon champion who once said that an important key to success is self-confidence. An important key to self-confidence is preparation. So now that leads me to the very first element of self-confidence: preparation. We must be prepared. Number one, preparation. Let's remember that. Success seldom comes without preparation. You must prepare. You must do the hard work. It may be uncomfortable, but it's inevitable. You cannot circumvent preparation when it comes to success at anything. Alexander Graham Bell is known for inventing the phone, as well as saying, before anything else, preparation is the key to success. Please revisit my chapter on knowledge and skills acquisition for more on preparation. The next aspect of self-confidence, building self-confidence, is to be able to stand up for yourself. Standing up for yourself is an element of self-confidence and by extension, self-esteem that is often misconstrued by many people. People sometimes erroneously think that standing up for yourself means going against the status quo. They defy authority for the wrong reasons. What I'm talking about here is far from it, far from that. If directions need to be followed in order to accomplish certain tasks, by all means, follow those directions. It is not about who's giving the directions. It is not about how intricate the directions are. If you need clarifications, seek them. But whatever you do, perform the task. Standing up for yourself means to be assertive, and that means having the respect for yourself and the willingness to express your thoughts and feelings in an amiable way, in a desirable way. That has nothing to do with defiance. Let me make that clear. But it also has to do with awareness of others' rights and the willingness to resolve whatever differences you may have with others. Now, the next principle of self-confidence is the idea of monitoring your self-talk, the things you say to yourself. That simply means the way you talk to yourself. It is the way we often talk to that inner voice within you. Example of such talks are, I can do it. And say it with energy. Say it like you mean it. I'm good enough. This is just too difficult for those who are ready to give up. This is just too difficult for me. You must monitor your self-talk to be sure that you do not embrace any thoughts that will prevent you from reaching your goals. Self-talk is important. The next principle is taking massive action, toward your goals. In addition to preparation, so you can prepare. But I will suggest that you take action toward achieving your goals. Yes, you're prepared. But do not just sit there. As the saying goes, even if you're on the right track, you get run over if you just sit there. Goals can only be achieved when direct action is taken toward the accomplishments. Individuals with high level of confidence are comfortable with taking action. They're not people that say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. They don't say on a Friday morning, I will start making my sales calls first thing Monday morning. As the famous Nike commercial says, they'll just do it. So, gotta do it. Now. Do it now. Not tomorrow. Just do it now. They don't wait for all the pieces of the puzzle to fall in place because they may not. So, you gotta do it now. You're prepared. You're ready. Let's do it. Make that move. Finally, we're talking about being fearless. I talked about fear. And I talked about that emotion already. You got to be fearless. If you have any questions on that, go back to that chapter or go back to that video and take a look at that presentation. But you have to be fearless. Many times, fear is the emotion that keeps us from taking the steps needed to successfully reach our goals. The fear of failure, the fear of criticisms. Oh, I don't want to be criticized. And the fear of conflict. Among the many fears that can immobilize you from taking action toward your goals. You're worried about hurting someone. I know a friend who was starting a business, and their other friend to whom they were going to be competing owns the same a similar business in another part of town. He was concerned that he was going to compete with this guy. Fear of conflict. My goodness. Can't do that. Lastly, in order to build your self-confidence, you must be able to identify your fears and to take swift actions toward overcoming them. And my friend, until next time, I'll see you again.